wonderful week. 420 blaze it. It is weed day. Not that it matters, but I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Thank you so much for joining me for another Cyberpunk in a Car live chat. Today's been a crazy, hectic day. If it gets too loud outside with the cars passing and stuff, let me know. Before we get started, make sure you guys join the Discord community. The link should be in the description below. Tricky Taco, what's up, playa? Good to see you, buddy. Official mod of the Discord. 42069 blaze it, boy. That's right, Twiggy. Make sure you guys join that Discord community. Make sure you guys join that Patreon, patreon.com/JonJonTheWise. I got the podcast, Tabletop Cyberpunk, as well. And you can find me on social media at JonJonTheWise. All right. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. This steering wheel's like right in the way, though. Let me just do one of these. There we go. Okay, no, this is a bad spot. Hold on. Hold your horses. Ah. All right. All right, there we go. That should be good. Yeah, man, blue glass only for Cyberpunk 20. I wonder what the equivalent of 420 is in the Cyberpunk world, where they be smoking that good ganja. I was a little disappointed that there wasn't any mention of the devil's lettuce in the core rulebook. I feel like people would need it more, need it to chill. I mean, things are so bad in the dark future. Everybody needs to be smoking weed, you know what I mean? So yeah, if you're in one of those states that it is not legalized yet or for recreational use, I apologize greatly for that. That really sucks. For those of you that are in the state where it's legalized recreationally, cool. Weed's not a big deal. Don't make it your whole life's thing, you know? I'm not one of those type, like, okay, I partake in the marijuanas, but I'm not one of those types to like glorify it or have Bob Marley posters or any of that stuff. So yeah, I mean, it's just like drinking or smoking cigarettes or whatever your vices and stuff like that. Just don't force it on others or make others smell it. Dude, that's funny. It's called weed because of its resilience. Never underestimate Mother Nature. Weed's safer than cigs and alcohol. 100%. I agree. It's definitely safer than blue glass or smash or any of those crazy drugs that are in Cyberpunk. The drug system in Cyberpunk is something, it leaves a little bit to be desired, in my opinion. I've made a video about it, actually. I have one. It's just called Drugs. On my channel, and yeah, I talked about how I get what purpose they serve to give people like buffs and stuff like that and debuffs and all that shit, but yeah, people don't need weed in Cyberpunk because they just have Xanax. Yeah, exactly. So that's it. And if the corporations can't make the synthetic weed, then you know. Also, I think it would be tough to grow weed in the dark future, right? Unless Biotechnica helps you out somehow. Biotechnica, that's a good campaign plot for 420. Biotechnica has the original marijuana strain in a lab, and then you and your buddies go and steal the seed. In Red, I don't get why having one thing of a drug makes you instantly addicted. Yep, I'm with you on that too. Why not just put it in one of those vertical rooftop farms? Yeah, that's the other thing. The ingenuity of people and mankind. That's why I have a lot of issue with the way vehicles are in Cyberpunk Red, where James said like, oh, there are no vehicles. You don't see people with vehicles. And I get the game aspect of it. It's like you don't see vehicles, so nomads and corporates are more important. And that's basically what makes them powerful in Cyberpunk Red. But that's taking away from the reality that people are the ingenuity of mankind. We will find a way to make a vehicle work. We will find a way to do it. we'll find a way to grow weed when we're not able to grow weed. We'll do hydroponics, we'll do vertical farms, we'll do whatever the hell we got to do, or even any crops, not just weed. It's just mankind's ingenuity does it. You can't stop that. You know what I mean? You can't stop mankind from moving forward. So I get that if you just give everybody a vehicle in Cyberpunk Red, that you kind of negate the nomad's role. But I don't think so. I think if you focus on what makes a nomad what they are, that they have something special about them, like their family and stuff like that. If you're a game master, you should definitely focus on keeping some family members around the nomad, keeping them like around that place. If you're not going to make their vehicle something like a special thing, you know what I mean? Let's see. James said there are no vehicles yet. The core rulebook has vehicles in every artwork. I know. But let's not forget that with weed comes hemp, which is an extremely useful material. Yeah, that is actually good. Guerrilla growing is a new hotness in red, food, drugs, etc. If you can find seeds. Yeah, that's a lot of cool plot points that I've seen with food growth. What's up, Nihilus? Sorry, man. I'm sorry that you have to go to work. I'm sorry we got here a little bit late. I've been running around like crazy, man. So it's tough because my father-in-law went to Mexico, so I'm kind of like in charge of a lot of things. So yeah, that's it. Unless you're my nomad whose family is just dead. Yeah, you kind of left me, Twiggy, in a spot where I'm like, well, I can't have any of his nomad family around because they're all dead. But I made sure that your vehicle is very important in the campaign, which it is. So yeah, you just got to do some adjustments. I'm also excited that I finished the campaign building episodes, where we were building an epic Cyberpunk Red campaign. I'm so excited that I finished that series. That was the first exclusive Patreon series, and I'm really hoping that it helps a lot of people with their games and game masters, because I know that's what a lot of people want to do. They want to, if they either want to use a module, and if the module doesn't exist, then they want to write the campaign. So I'm glad to be able to help in that sense. My nomad is actually a Boso Zoku. Jesus, that's hard to say. Biker. Retooling roll abilities is so fun. Awesome. Yeah, I agree. I did say all known family are dead, and one of my friends was presumed dead. You could totally say someone survived. Yeah, no, that's true, but for the purpose of keeping them around so you can call on them for help, that they don't serve that purpose. I got one real quick. So you're a badass solo that has 2 points in damage deflection, and wearing light armor jack, you take 12 points of damage. How would you resolve that? I enjoy reflavoring the roles as a whole at times. Okay, so to answer your question, Nihilus, you get 2 points in damage deflection. What is the wording on the damage deflection rule? Does it say damage that pierces armor, or is it just saying damage in general? That's a question we'll need to answer and kind of make a judgment on. Does damage mean any damage, whether it's going through armor or against armor, or is damage whatever happens to your health when it lowers? So if that's, we'd first have to answer that question. I don't have the book on me, so I can't answer it offhand. I enjoy reflavoring the roles as a whole. At times, a whole group of narrative nomads where one is a solo, one is a fixer, and all belong to the same nomad family. Yeah, Corinne, that's 100% what I like to do. By the way, did you get to 1K subs? If you did, congratulations. If you didn't, it's happening soon, and so congratulations either way. And yeah, I love doing that too. Damage deflection is deflected first, then goes to damage armor. Reduce damage you take by 1. It's any damage first time in a round. I'll find it in 1 second. You just did? Awesome, dude. That's good. I'm glad to hear it. Congratulations. Your journey ahead is Yellow Brick Road of fun. I hope that it all works out for you, dude. Oh, wait. I've got to make sure that it's showing all chat. Live chat. All messages visible. Yeah, because sometimes it hides messages for some reason. So yeah, basically, it sounds like you would deflect the original damage first, and then it goes to your armor. So if you got 12 damage that means you got 10 damage, and it didn't ablate your armor. So I guess the idea is, as a solo, your reflexes are so good, or you're so well trained that you don't take the full brunt of the damage. You kind of move out of the way a little bit, so when the bullet hits, it deflects a little bit. You have been trained to roll with the punches. Exactly what I was saying. Reducing damage done to you for 2 points. Decrease the first damage you take this round by 1. The first damage you take this round. Damage deflection reduces damage first, then the remaining damage is set to armor. Yep, that's consistent. I agree with Twiggy. That is a correct response to that question, I think. So, yeah. So you would take 10 if you had a 2 DR. Yeah, exactly. Which means, if you have a 2 DR, that means you put 4 points, right? Because you got to put 2 points for 1 damage reduction. Where the synth weed at? Yo, what's up, young bohemian? I only want the real shit, dog. Actually, synth weed is real. Isn't that what, like, the weed oils and stuff is? That is synthetic weed. When my mom was sick with cancer, I asked her doctor if he could give her some weed, and he's like, well, we got the synthetic marijuana, and it came in these little balls, like these little tiny balls. And this is before, like, edibles are what they are today. This was like in 2008. So we tried it. It did nothing. It absolutely did nothing. There was nothing about it that was psychoactive. There was nothing about it. Gorilla donation. Thank you so much, Nihilus. A good solo is always training. Looking forward to shooting down more AVs. Much appreciated, buddy. Thank you so much for the continued support, man. You don't have to do it, man. You don't have to, but I appreciate it, dude. I seriously do, man. Thank you. I hope your your day at work is perfect, dude. And I'll see you tomorrow for our game. Marinol is the name of synthweed. Yeah, I think that's what it was. Morning, John. What's up, Chungastonian? Got another question for you. The Red Book, I feel, doesn't have any pre-generated enemies. Would using the pre-generated rolls from the Jumpstart kit also suffice? No, it does have pre-generated enemies. At the end of the book, they're called mooks. They are various ones that you can use. But I personally like using my 3 goon method that you can find in my channel. I have a video about it. If you that works for any situation, you can make it on the fly. That's why I like it. So I don't use any of the pre-generated enemies in any of the books, but there are in the core rulebook, dude. Spice is synthetic weed. The Navy cracked down on it hard when I was in. Yeah, I knew a guy that was on probation, and the only thing he could smoke was spice. And he's like, he smoked copious amounts of it, trying to get high. The American health system take a perfectly normal plant that helps people remake it into using nothing but chemicals and drugs and sell it to people to keep this safe weed illegal. Oh man, tell me about it, dude. I'd imagine authentic weed would be pretty pricey if it was affected by the same virus that wiped out cocaine plants. What's up, Stephen Odinson? How you doing? Yeah, exactly. That bioplague probably rocked the marijuana industry. But like I was saying earlier, ingenuity of mankind, we would find some way to grow that weed, man. We would find some way to grow crops, just like we would find some way to make vehicles. We would find some way to sell weapons. We would find some way to do whatever we got to do to survive. That's what it's all about. Spice is whack. Yeah, I've never tried it actually, so I don't know. Twiggy, if you think that's funny, in the UK, we're the biggest exporter of medicinal cannabis in the world, and we can't access it ourselves. Wow, I didn't even know that. Really? I had no idea about that.
It's just like
Later, Nihilus. Have a good one. It's good seeing you, man. Bath salts is whack. You just haven't had good one. I don't know. I'm just kidding. Sup, John? I used those Mook stats you made in my game, and they worked great. Thank you. That's great, Eric. Awesome, dude. I'm glad that it worked out for you, man. That's awesome. Yeah, the 3 goon method saved me too, man. It came out of basically. Let me silence this bitch. It basically came out of necessity, where I was like, dude, I got to be able to make these bad guys on the fly, and I want to keep things moving while still maintaining that, you know, that the damage the players do and the damage that the NPCs do matters. Like, things have to matter. So the 3 goon method worked out for that. Life finds a way. I've seen Jurassic Park. Yeah. Jurassic Park is a cyberpunk film about Biotechnica being crazy. Biotechnica, you crazy. That's totally true. Doing good, Choom. How you feeling after your shot? I feel 100% good. Actually, last night, since I've had COVID, I know what the symptoms are like. I was like, dude, did they fucking just give me COVID? Like, legitimately give me COVID? Because last night I was dizzy, I was nauseous, my head was hurting, I was aching, and I was like, oh god damn it, am I one of the statistics where like it fucks me up? Then I woke up today feeling 100%. So that's it. It's one fucked up day. Even my arm's not sore. Like, see, I'm doing this shit. I'm fist pumping. It was this arm. So yeah, I mean, I recovered. Get the vaccine, guys. It's no big deal. Um, I'll have to check out the vid. I rechecked the book and can't believe I missed so many. They don't mention how to level them up to keep up with the party, so I'm definitely gonna check out the Regoon method. There's no leveling up in Cyberpunk. There's just, um, what kind of stats do you have, what kind of skills do you have, and what kind of weapons do you have. A guy with an assault rifle, even if he's not high in his shoulder arms and reflex stat, is still going to be really dangerous because if he hits, that's 5d6 damage, no matter how powerful he is. It's like Bruce Lee said, um, it doesn't matter what martial art you know. If the guy has a gun, then he negates all your martial art experience. So it's the same kind of thing in Cyberpunk. THC is a chemical compound that could be replicated in a lab. I believe you. How are you handling the 5Gs and the side effect baldness? Well, I'm not fighting it. I'm letting the baldness take over. And my Wi-Fi has gotten significantly better. I created a hack system between Cyberpunk Red and The Witcher RPG to have an experience more similar to 2020. Okay, but still with the improvements of Red, I need to balance a lot of rules and create new sheets. Yeah, I get what you're saying, Cleston. In my opinion, I would rather not do that extra work. I know a lot of people that come from 2020 love it. I love 2020. It's my first RPG, but I'm so glad the changes that they made. I am bummed out about some of the changes, like some things in the economy, some things with vehicles. Originally, I didn't like the cover system, but I've learned to like it. So that's it. What's up, JD? How you doing? And shit. All right, I'm gonna try to say your name. Mathieu Savosh. Mat. I don't know how to say your last name or your first name, but I think your last name is Savosh. I think. Or Savosh, something like that. But it's good to see you, man. Let me know if I was close enough. Economy, drugs, vehicles. Really? Holy shit. Okay, wait. Machi Savosh. So it is Savosh, but how do I say your first name? I'm hoping Gen Con happens this year. So far, it looks like they're planning on it happening in person. So I think it is happening. It would be great, man, to be able to see all you people. Yeah, I back in the day when I first started streaming on Twitch, my very first viewer was a Polish guy. His name was Tomasz, and I forgot what his last name was, but he pretty much taught me the pronunciations of Polish names. So when I see a Polish name, I'm always like trying to pronounce it. There's an MMA fighter that I'm sure you know is Joanna Jędrzejczyk. And if you look at her last name and you're not Polish, you're just like, I don't know what to do. I'm lost. Maybe I could run Witcher for you. Oh, okay. Maybe one of these days. You and I should meet up. Maybe I could run Witcher for you. Dude, if I go to Gen Con, I'm probably not even going to be able to play. I'm probably just going to be going around meeting people and shaking hands and having a drink and saying, so what's going on? You know, the thing where you have your hand in your pocket and a drink in your hand? It's one of those. I just want things to go back to normal. It will, man. It will. We're getting there. It's a new normal, as they say. Sad noises. No, it would be great to get together with everybody, man. If I am going to Gen Con, do I run a game? Honestly, man, I don't like convention games. I've realized that I don't like it. The reason I like playing Cyberpunk is not because of like a one shot. Because one shots are great if you never played the game and you just want to learn how to play it and you just want to get into it without anything. But I know what Cyberpunk is. I've played it. And to be honest with you, I would rather do like an actual campaign than a one shot. So if a one shot's gonna happen, I would love to do The Witcher or any other RPG where I could just come as a player, or I would love to play some Warhammer with some buddies. Bring my army, play some Warhammer, especially since I got that Bellacore coming in the mail soon. It's coming to my FLGS and I'm picking it up. Fuck, man, I'm so excited to paint that thing. Does Mike run games at Gen Con? He has in the past. You know, I think that he also kind of has the same kind of sentiment as me, where he doesn't really like one shots all that much. But I'm just speculating, and he's in high demand. The guy, you know what I mean? Everybody wants to talk to him and play with him. They want him to run the game, and obviously he created Cyberpunk, so they want to play in one of his games and stuff like that. Would you like to see more mechanics for IAs in red? Oh, I think you mean intelligent artificials or artificial intelligence, and rules for the virtual and that these IAs should. I think you meant AIs, but yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, definitely, and I think they are going to explore it. If you read about the AIs in the core rulebook, they leave this like little thing, these sentences that like are like, oh shit, they're really going to explore this thing. The net is not going to be the way it is forever. Obviously, we played Cyberpunk 2077. You guys know that the net is back in some sort of way. So something is going to happen in between Blackwatch and what happened with Raish Bartmoss. I haven't actually played the Raish Bartmoss quest in 2077 because it bugged out and I couldn't play it. I couldn't like progress it. So I don't know exactly what happened, but they're definitely going to explore that. Thank you, JD. I'm glad that was fun having you in my game, and I'm glad that you liked it. My Iron Warrior Death Guard will fight you, dude. You run both of them in an army. That's disgusting. No pun intended with disgustingly resilient. Death Guard are sons of bitches, dude. I've played out of like the maybe 20 games that I've played maybe half of them against Death Guard, and I haven't won a single game against a Death Guard opponent. So I hate it. But I'll play either way. I don't care. I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, you're playing Death Guard. I'm not gonna play. No, I'll play anyone with whatever army. Unless they're playing the same army as me, then it's kind of boring. I don't like that. But if it's any other army, I'll play them. I think I found out what I want to try to collect Tau and Ultramarines. Well, let me tell you something about if you start collecting Tau, then you can only focus on Tau. If you start collecting Ultramarines, then you can somehow proxy them to be another army. So if in the future you want to play another Space Marine chapter, I would recommend you get Ultramarines, and then you can probably proxy them to play some other army in the future. You know what I mean? But yeah, they're really cool. You interested in Cyberpunk Red Skirmish miniature game? Yeah, for sure. On Thursday, as soon as the Kickstarter comes out, I'm just gonna buy it right away. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna paint the miniatures. I'll make videos about it too. So yeah, you guys should expect me to make content about the game. I really wanted to get Monster Fight Club to come on my podcast or my YouTube channel. I've tried to 2-3 times. Yeah, I tried to schedule 3 times with the CEO, and I don't know if they don't want to come on my channel or if something happened. I'm just too busy, but I'm just kind of getting like the cold shoulder from them. You know what I mean? But whatever. I'm still gonna play the game and I'm still gonna make content about it. So yeah, stay tuned for that. I've also played Witcher with Cody. Oh, that's awesome. Glad to hear it, bro. Gotta stay safe. And have you trained in any martial arts? Yeah, I did Taekwondo when I was younger, and I got like right up to a black belt when I was like 11 or 12, and I was gonna take the black belt test, but it was like $600, and my dad's like, "No, you're not taking that test." Turns out I was at a McDojo, which is a funny term for a place that is like those mall martial arts place. Like you go to the mall and they give kids black belts. I didn't know how to really fight. It was just a money making scheme for the people there. There was a few people that were really talented, but most of them, it was just some kind of money making business, and I didn't really learn anything. But I'm hoping to train martial arts soon when my son is old enough. I'm gonna put both of us in martial arts so we can train and do it together. I want him to be able to do that. Yeah, I'm excited about the combat zone game for sure. I'm excited about a skirmish game. I'm excited to check it out, see what it's like. I'm intrigued by it, and I'm probably gonna buy it. I'm buying everything Cyberpunk. Like, doesn't matter what Cyberpunk stuff is out there. Meth guard. The new normal will be better. Thinking of much cleaner and safer. We're because of the awful AIDS pandemic of the 80s, 90s. Yeah, man, I'm glad. I think the future is going to be much better with the way things are. We're going to be a lot safer. We're also going to be it like if your boss tells you like no, you got to come into work even though you're sick. Now there's a whole new stigma attached to that. It used to be that's how it used to be. You guys remember? Like if you don't have sick days, especially for us in the United States, other for all you other foreigners, you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? If you didn't have enough days to be sick left in your calendar or whatever for work, you had to show up to work even if you were sick. So now you can take that to your higher ups and be like, look at this idiot supervisor that wants me to come in and get everybody sick. So yeah, I want to back that. Skirmish games are my shit. Yeah, I'm down. Hell, didn't notice someone already asked about Combat Zone. No worries. Wait, sketchy connection? It looks fine to me. To play devil's advocate, they may be pretty busy at the moment with the launch. Could be different in a while. Yeah, I agree. It could be different. I asked them to come on a little bit before so we could talk about it. But the thing is, it's releasing on Thursday, and I don't have them in my calendar. So if it's releasing on Thursday, then I should have already had a date booked for them to come on my podcast so we could talk about it a little bit after the release on Kickstarter. But no such thing. It is what it is. What can I do? I'll just keep doing me. Check out BJJ. It's really fun, in my opinion. Also for a kid, I'm kind of bummed there's no BJJ in martial arts skills in red. Me too, man. I'm gonna put my kid in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for sure. I'm hoping to go to a gym that does MMA so I can learn jiu-jitsu, kickboxing, boxing, and karate and stuff like that, and do like the whole thing just for training, just to stay in shape, just for self-defense. I'm not going to be competing. I'm probably not going to spar that much, and I just want my son to be able to defend himself and not be worried in any situation that he's in. That's it. And yeah, and I'm going to do it with him because I feel like if I just send him, that's different than me and him actually doing it together. You know what I mean? And yeah, I agree with you. I'm bummed out that there isn't anything like that. I want to learn martial arts of some kind, but don't know what. I thought it could help with weight loss. Do exactly what I just recommended. Go to an MMA gym that teaches karate, kickboxing, boxing, and Brazilian jiu-jitsu. They'll have multiple classes at different days. You can go at different days of the week, once or twice a week, and learn a different craft. And slowly but surely learn some new techniques, make some friends. It's a good idea. Yeah, I'm still playing Thousand Suns. What's up, X Stout? How you doing, man? Good to see you. Yeah, I'm still playing Thousand Suns. I've started collecting more Zinch Demons and more Black Legion or Chaos Space Marine as well. So I'm probably going to be running those three armies: Zinch Demons, Black Legion, and Thousand Suns. So Thousand Suns is my major one. Gonna have Be'lakor leading the charge. Fuck yeah, dude. I'm gonna put Be'lakor on the table as much as I can until my opponents are like, dude, you're bringing him again? 400, 500 points of destruction. I mean, his stats are insane, dude. The prince of all demon princes. But yeah, that's the situation. Some of my best buddies are from martial arts. Yeah, martial arts is great, man. Even though I went to a McDojo and it was kind of not like a legit place, I made some really good friends and I learned discipline, and it was a place where I worked out. We legitimately worked out every day, and I was in shape. Yeah, McDojo is what the slang term for a place that is not really a real martial arts studio. It's not a real martial arts gym. It's just there for show. And if they're giving out black belts to children, then you know that it's not a real spot. Children should not be getting black belts. Black belts should be for adults, because if you have a black belt, that means that you have reached the level where you are a master, and you're not a master of anything when you're a kid. Muay Thai and BJJ is all you need, my dudes. Yeah, it's true. That is all you need for a fight. A little bit of wrestling would help too. I think that just learning a good double leg takedown, single leg takedowns, and Some judo is good too. But if you really just want to learn, um, you know, a good striking martial art, kickboxing, boxing, and Muay Thai, those are kind of in the same boat. And Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, judo, and wrestling are the best grappling sports in my opinion. Sambo too, but those Russians are nuts. Lots of bullshito out there. That's funny. I've never heard of bullshito actually. Just had McDonald's delivered and there was no option to tip the delivery guy online. Now that is a cyberpunk dystopia. I thought you guys don't tip in the UK. I went to Australia and tipped and everyone's like, "Oh my god, I might as well have you know, said a racial slur because I left a fucking tip at the table." Everyone's like, "What are you doing? Why are you leaving a tip? What is this? Get out of here, American. I hate you." So, that's how fun it is. Awesome idea. I started in wrestling, Greco-Roman, and freestyle. Oh shit, that's really cool, man. So then you know how to slam motherfuckers to the ground. So if you can afford to eat, you can afford to tip. Yeah, yeah, dude. Uh, I as someone that used to work in one of like I used to work in wrestling restaurants. I used to work. My first job was at Cold Stones, the ice cream place. So tips were a big part of my life and my working life. So I know exactly what it is. And if I could give any advice to you out there, is tipping is really important. Even if you give a little bit, you're giving something where some people don't even give any. There's legitimately people out there that tip zero. They give nothing, and these are people that know better. I'm not talking about foreigners that are visiting that don't understand the etiquette. I'm talking about Americans that live here, that grew up here, that have disposable income, and they still don't tip. Wrestling is great base for MMA, 100%. If you look at all the top champions right now, they all have some kind of wrestling background. Maybe not as much anymore, but a lot of the champions, like if you just look at the UFC and just put them in a list, a lot of the champions are wrestlers. My girlfriend is a bartender, so I tip in EU too. That's good, man. Yo, just about to eat lunch. What I miss? What's up, DG? How you doing, buddy? I'll see you on Thursday for our game. Make sure you guys follow DG Rage Ride if you want to see me and the wise guys play some Starfinder. DG's out there doing that. I didn't miss anything, dude. We're here. A place I went to in my early teens, Shaolin Kempo. The story was the guy in charge got his black belt because he went and fought all the masters and no one could beat him. Oh, God, that thing. That's terrible, dude. That's so terrible. Oh, my God. I don't that phenomenon of people it's funny because we talked about it last week how the whole blood sports story was bullshit. The guy said he went to Hong Kong and he fought in a no rules tournament to the death and and he won there. It's so ridiculous, man. It's so ridiculous. Even the greatest champions of the world, the best of the best, have been beaten by somebody. Somebody has beaten them. Maybe the only person out there's only like two people that I know of historically that are really actually undefeated. One of them is Rickson Gracie, which is considered to be the best Brazilian jiu-jitsu guy ever in history. Uh, and the other one is Khabib Nurmagomedov, who retired 28-0 from the UFC, beat up everybody. Nobody could beat him, and he retired in his prime because he's like, I'm done. I don't want to do it anymore. There's no one that can beat me. That's it. Everybody else can be beaten. I try to give at least a little bit. Me too, man. McDojo, Ha Bullshido. Yeah, I love Bullshido. Bullshido's great, dude. I was going to some pro wrestling training before it all got shut down because of COVID. Now that's the real shit. Yeah, pro wrestling's awesome, dude. The chest slap. I love that it's called pro wrestling, but it's the biggest fake thing. You finally tried Starfinder. What did you think? I think it's really awesome. I think it's super complicated, though. As a game master, I would never want to run a game unless I'm actually using the adventure books, which in that case, I think it actually works out really well. But there's so many aspects of it, dude. There's so many rules. There's so much granularity. I mean, they thought of everything. It's like they're at different tables at the cafeteria when it comes to Art Talsorian and Paizo. The Paizo guys are sitting over there, and the Talsorian guys are sitting over there. They're all in the same cafeteria, but they're in different parts of it. I mean, Talsorian's like, here's the general idea of these rules, have at it. Paizo's like, no, there are no general ideas. There's everything is specific. This is it. This is the numbers. This is how you do everything. There's no judgment calls that need to be made. Everything is like set in stone. So that's cool in some senses, but in as a game master, I would never want to do that. But as a player, it lets you know that like what are the capabilities of your character. There's so many things that my character can do that I don't even know because it's like so much to take in. You know what I mean? I can't believe I didn't laugh in their faces when they told me that. Yeah, it's hard to laugh at somebody. I mean, it's just so bad. That story's terrible. Shaolin monks are crazy. They really are. But that whole idea, you know, Frank Dukes' Canadian girlfriend. Those dudes are breaking power drills on their foreheads. Yeah, I've seen that weird shit. But what is the application for that? Why do you want to do that? You know what I mean? Getting kicked in the balls, you know? Hey John, how are you? How do you feel about cults in Cyberpunk? I think it's a very great idea. I think that cults would be more prevalent in Cyberpunk, especially where people are looking for hope. So you're talking about a lot of desperate people that are looking for something. Some people would say religion is a cult, so religion would be one of those things. The Inquisitors are a cult where they think that humanity should be pure and cyberware is diluting our gene pool and cyberware is bad. That's what the Inquisitors are. Um, any other cool cults you can think of are awesome. I have some in my world building too. I think they're a big part of it. A cult is just a nomad family that is fanatic, if you think about it. They're a family that sticks together. They have their rules, they have their hierarchy, and they're self sustaining. And some of them are wacky, some of them are benign. And in the end, they're all perfect for Cyberpunk, in my opinion. Yes, Starfinder is heavy, for sure. It's awesome. And the legit thing is amateur wrestling somehow. Yeah, I know. Cults are required for Cyberpunk. I agree. I sit at both tables. Me too, JD. I know I just can't help but put cults in Cyberpunk, that and Hawaiian shirts. Dude, a cult of Hawaiian shirts is great. How LOL, my lawman's nickname Hawaii because he wears Hawaii t-shirts. The Hawaiian shirt is actually like a staple undercover cop shirt because they're loose and you can have a gun in your waistband or in a holster under it and it's not really known. I remember I used to work at a place where the owner used to hire some ex cops to do security, and they would all wear Hawaiian shirts. I vaguely recall a church based around Elvis Presley in the U.S. sourcebook. Yeah, I think there is something like that in Home of the Brave, probably the Vegas. It's probably in Vegas that's happened. And the avatar I use for him is Tom Selleck photo from Magnum PI. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Dude, that mustache, man. That's a real dad mustache. Cult of Hawaiian shirts equals Boogaloo boys. Be careful. I mean, be careful around any group in Cyberpunk. Jay Gray played a reverend of the Church of Elvis. Oh, that's great. New Vegas Kings vibes. Yeah, that's right, Don. I agree. Oh yeah, that's right. There was a cult of of Elvis guys in New Vegas. I totally forgot about that. Yeah, that's cool. I also like the Roman Praetorian cult. I don't know if that was in 3 or New Vegas, but that one was really cool. Do you think having a mostly pre-planned path for your characters, except that they can solve any situation however they want, railroading? No, I don't think that. I don't think having a pre-planned path for your characters is railroading. If you make sure that you leave an option, I literally just made a video about this, by the way, for my Patreon. But if you leave an option for them to take it in whatever direction they want, then it's not railroading. You got to make sure that even though you have a pre-planned path for your players, that you don't force them down that path. That you just have it there just in case they don't know where to go next. But if they decide that they want to go here and there instead of what you have planned, you got to make sure that you adjust. You got to go back and adjust. And whatever you had planned, just erase that and make it different, you know? That way, it feels like they can you know, they have a choice in the matter. Yeah, I don't think you expected my character to take the boss man captive or for Hornet to one shot an AV. Sometimes railroading doesn't work. Yeah, exactly. And you know what? I've adjusted to it and I've allowed you. Not once did I tell you guys that you can't do that you can't do this, or I never once made you guys know that you messed up my game or anything like that. I adjusted and I just make it work. You guys are the ones that are. You guys determine how the plot is resolved, not me. That's none of my business. I don't decide how the mystery is solved. I just provide the mystery. You guys provide the answers. So if I want to provide a path for your characters to develop, I can provide that path, but you guys decide how your characters are going to develop. There's going to be times where I'm going to tell you, like, what are you going to do? You're going to do this or you're going to do this? Are you going to do this or are you going to do that? There was a time in our Patreon game, Twiggy, where we got out and I was like, okay, you can take these bodies and cut them up for their cyberware and stuff like that, but it's gonna take extra time, and it's gonna be heavyweight in the truck. I didn't say you can't do it. I'm just letting you know the consequences. That's all. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying, yeah, you can do it, but there's some consequences. If you're okay with the consequences, then it's all good. Just letting you know. I'm a referee, all right? I'm not a preacher. Brutalk, so long as your plan isn't too big to fail, so to speak, it will be all right. Yeah, definitely. You don't want to, if you over plan and you have this thing where you're like, everything has to be in line for it to work, it's going to go wrong. Murphy's Law, dude. Murphy's Law is anything that can go wrong will go wrong, okay? So don't, you should always plan to not have a plan because things will go wrong. Things will go sideways. So if you have a plan, you're doing yourself an injustice. Have a general idea of what you possibly think could happen. That's it. That's basically it as being a GM. And then you just decide things on the fly, you know? Having a pre-planned path is called having a plot. Make the plot points not area specific so you can drop them wherever the players end up. Yeah, exactly. Uh, the players will go to someone to get this information. That information will get them closer to resolving the plot, and at the end, they're gonna fight this big bad guy. That's that's like 6 sessions that I just said right now. Whatever that sentence was, that's like 6, 7 sessions of them going here, there, and then the players are deciding where they're going. I'm not deciding where they're going. They're like, we want to go here, we want to talk to this guy, let me pick up the phone and call my contact. And then now it's my turn to try to figure out how to connect those things. I know that they're supposed to receive this very important piece of information, but I haven't planned how they receive it. So my players are like, hey, I'm going to pick up my phone and call my contact from back in the day. Well, hey, there it goes. My player just gave me an idea on how I could get that piece of information to them. If I had already planned it, I would have wasted my time because my plan would have made no sense with what's just going on. So they pick up the phone, they call, and then now I got to find a creative way to make it like they work for the plan, right? They got to work for the piece of information and stuff like that. That's why I like your DMing. You let us have the fun while you have fun too. That is the fun. The fun is that everybody has fun. The fun is that I don't know what's going to happen. And the fun is that you guys figure out what's going to happen. And I'm like, ooh, okay, so they decided they want to do this. All right, so now I have to think of a way to be creative and adjust to it. That's the fun for me. And somebody that doesn't like that is a control freak and wants things to go like a specific way is always going to be disappointed, in my opinion. It's never going to go with the way that you want it to. I've ruined every single Cyberpunk session I've ever played by pulling out my gun and freaking everyone out. While I say ruined, I was enjoying myself. Yeah, I mean, pulling out your gun and freaking everyone out is actually a really good tool sometimes as a player. In Cyberpunk, that actually works out really well sometimes. So that's not something that you should always shy away from, but there should definitely be consequences to that. So as a game master, I'll make sure that there's those consequences. Which do you guys prefer? Having the players be able to buy any gun or having certain guns cut off until you gain a fixer or something? I prefer when the players work to get that RPG they want. Yeah, no, they definitely don't give it to them at character creation. I'll let them have an assault rifle at character creation, but I'm not. But that means the bad guys, the first bad guys that they fight, will also have assault rifles. It's all up to par. You know what I mean? You want an assault rifle? Well, the bad guys will have assault rifles. If the bad guys have assault rifles, then the players, when they kill them, will also have assault rifles. But RPGs and grenade launchers and all these things, definitely want the players to work for it. You want them to make that fixer contact, and it's not just them going and making a couple phone calls and finding the fixer. It's the fixer saying, okay, you want me to help you? Well, what's in it for me? Let these cars pass. Yeah, the fixer shouldn't just be like, "Oh, you're a customer and you want to buy something? Okay, here it is, $500. I'll give you an assault rifle." It's like, no, hey man, you want something? So does everybody else. Get in line, all right? I'm busy. You want some help? Then you better do something for me to show me that you're worth my time. That's the kind of work that your players should be doing. Remember, fixers are busy. Their phones are blowing up. They don't have time for everybody, especially somebody they don't know. If a player just comes out of nowhere and it's just like, "Hey, I heard you can get an assault rifle." The fixer's like, "Yeah, I can. Maybe. I don't even know who you are. You a cop? Get the fuck out of here, dude. I'm busy." So they got to make sure that the fixer knows that these people are worth doing business with. Really happy and excited playing our game. Your GMing is refreshing. I'm glad you feel that way, Twiggy. I love playing with you guys too, man. Any advice on making corpos in game feel less shadowy and faceless? I feel like a lot of the time it's easy to skip over the facts that corpos are made up of real people with motivations. Yeah, that's a great question, Don. In my opinion, you got to go to the human level. Why would someone and I made a video about this in my channel. It's called Corporate Lifestyle. And I dove into this because I had the same kind of idea or the same kind of question. You got to think to yourself, why would someone join a corporation in the dark future? The simple answer most of the time for anything is survival. They want to be safe. They want to have a purpose in life. They want to know that their family's going to be okay. So living in a corporate zone, if it means we all do it every day, we work for a corporation or somebody, and that's just normal stuff. Hold on 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. Yeah, so like I was saying, you got to try to figure out why these corporates have joined these corporations in the first place, and that connects you to their human level. There's a lot of desperation. There's a lot of them just trying to make it in this corporation because that's the only way they can survive. They chose that path. You know what I mean? The other path like is not easy. The other outside of working for a corporation, your life is shit. The nomad life sucks. The edge runner life, it's terrible. You live in a container. You don't know if you're gonna live. You probably don't even have a car. You work for a corporation. You have clean clothes, fresh food, or at least good pre-pack. You live in a nice place, a gated community, and you have a future. You can actually have a family. You can actually live a normal life. So keep those things in mind when you have a corporate. Uh, in my Baby Beard media game that I did, the corporates that were the bad guys, their corporation was collapsing, and they're like, dude, we got to figure out a way to start our own corporation. We got to hustle. They're desperate. They just want to make it. They don't want to be another statistic of a corporate that lost their job and had to live on the streets. So they started doing immoral things like stealing people's cyberware, kidnapping people, cutting them up into pieces to reverse engineer their cyberware so they can manufacture their own. That's really fucked up and disgusting behavior, but they just did it to survive. It's the sign of the times. You know what I mean? So that's my advice to you for running a corporate. Gotta love Murphy. If a player is really trigger happy as a GM, I wouldn't have any remorse eventually killing off the PC if he pulls a gun on the wrong crowd. Yeah, I mean, there's consequences, dude. That's it. Not out of malice, though, just for the sake of realism and having consequences. Go for PC actions. Yep, consequences. To be fair, the first time I did it, I took a shotgun blast to the chest, which is to be expected. Yep. And if you survived, then good on you. If you didn't, that's the dark future, baby. The fun is watching Hornet one shot your heavily armored assault AV. I know, dude. Can you believe that? Task Manager, the net runner, is still kicking, though. Oh, that's such a great name for a net runner. Watching me take 17 bullets and lose half my HP. That was fun. One of my most favorite parts of being a GM is the unknown. How far off the rails will they go? Who cares? Just roll with it. Improv, baby. That's right, DG. And we definitely fucked up your Starfinder game a few times. So that's fun. I think we won. I was bleeding out on the floor, but I got paid, so we won, right? Yeah, you won. Getting ready to rejoin the Patreon. Sounds good, JD. Anytime you want, man. I appreciate the support either way. You should sign up to the Patreon game. Oh, I should. Got some tactical maneuvers that could really spice things up. Yeah, you're welcome to join, dude. My GM made the bad guys have a poor quality rocket launcher in car. My group lets one of the gangers go. Against my advice, the ganger runs, jumps in, car drives away, comes back, fires the rocket launcher, and the one person that gets hit is me. Oh yeah, that's fun. John's going to kick someone's ass. At least we have a real life now. I would say watch movies about people doing corpo style jobs like Wolf of Wall Street or Devil's Advocate. They are good movies on their own and gives you a cool base for a character. Yeah, those are great movies. I agree. Good idea. What do you feel is the ideal party size for a game? My hard limit is 5, but I like 3 to 4. 4 is the sweet spot. 5 is the maximum. You can still do cool stuff with 5. After that, it's not enjoyable for anybody. Combat takes too long. The game master is overwhelmed. There's too many plot lines and stories to think about, and people get left on the wayside, in my opinion. 4 players, 1 GM, 5 players max. I added another wise guy to our campaign because it's DG's cousin, and we're playing with him in Starfinder, and there's room for him in my game. So I made room and I adjusted to it, but I can't take anybody else. There's no way. I don't want to do that. We had one ref who would constantly throw T1000s or something similar at us. I was basically a reskin Jason Teen Slaughterfest. It was basically a reskin. Jesus, that's terrifying. The phrase, there is no such thing as ethical consumption under capitalism, comes to mind. If you're a corpo, this statement becomes a justification. The world isn't changing, it's survival. Yep, exactly. I agree. I'm a lawyer, I win, it's what I do. When Pacino reels back in surprise at your delivery, you know it's good. Corporate citizenship is a thing you can buy in my game. A citizen of Arasaka, for instance, had access to Arasaka housing, weapons, trainers, free range time, and free pistol caliber ammunition. I love that, X-Out. That's great. That's the kind... See, that's... You sold your soul to the corporation, but look what you got in return. And for some people, it's a no-brainer. Fuck my soul. Who cares? I have a house I can live in. Think about what I said about raising a family. You can't raise a family in Cyberpunk. It's absolutely so dangerous. Nomads can do it because they've set themselves up to be able to do it. But living in Night City, being a person... Imagine, like, sending your kids off to school in Night City. It's fucking terrifying, dude. Terrifying. So, but if you send them to school in a corporate zone where a shuttle comes in front of your house and picks up your kids with a bunch of other corporate kids, sends them to their school where they're indoctrinated into the Arasaka Corporation and they learn algebra, that is a lifestyle that a lot of people will want to pick up. We would have needed an RPG or a Mark 19, blah, blah, blah. I mean, look at the Vikings. They were originally a more peaceful and religious people, but they left Norway and had to do what they had to do to survive pillaging and raiding, to live versus dying. Yep. And if you compare them to other factions in history, I mean, it's par for the course, right? Thanks for your sinking corporates starting hacking people for reverse. Thanks for your sinking corporates starting hacking people for reverse engineering it. just fits one of my subplots, and I'll use it for my next game. Perfect. Uh, happy gaming. I'm glad I could. Your idea. Oh, okay, okay, got it. I hope it works out for you. Really good idea. Taking the idea of corporations being bigger than nations to the next level. You're not a citizen of the U.S. You're a citizen of Militech. Yeah, that's the hierarchy. You're loyal to your corporation before you're loyal to anybody else, even your family in some senses. Unless it's your immediate family, I mean cousins, aunts, uncles, they can suck it, dude. Militech all the way, right? Not answering to government loyalty, only to the corp. Corporate citizenship is required for legacy license. A legacy license is a license to have children. Ah, that's interesting. That's sick. What's up, Luke? Long time no see, buddy. I miss you. I love you. I hope you're doing well. Hope your birthday went well, buddy. And yeah, good to see you, buddy. Luke the Goon, guys. He's in chat. Look at John. What a handsome boy. Not more handsome than you, boy. Reminds me of a Starship Trooper a little bit. Yeah, yeah, I like that too. Solo single father, just trying to make a good life for his son. His has a great backstory. Yeah, but dude, being a soul, so you guys know what it's like. Anybody that makes a character in RPGs, even if it's D&D, they say I have no siblings, I have no family, they're all dead, I'm on my own. Why do people do that? Because they don't want to have extra baggage. They don't want to have a weakness. If you have family, then that's a weakness. That's something people can exploit. They can kidnap your kids, kidnap your wife, kidnap your dad, and those are something that your characters don't want to be able to have as a weakness. You want to be as strong as possible. So there's a lot of people that make sure that the characters that they make in RPGs don't have any of that stuff. It also plays off the cool loner type really well. Yeah, the hard loner. It's like, yeah, wow, that guy is a brooding asshole. Well, his whole family died in an accident. So yeah, a sexual tyrannosaurus. Where did you get that fucking emoji, Twiggy? That's sick. Hide your kids, hide your wife. Continental brands exploded my character's weakness. It was just before we started playing. Yeah, exactly. It's what made him hard at the end of the day. John knew attraction wasn't a dumb stat. Exactly, dude. Attraction was not a dumb stat. There are no dumb stats in Cyberpunk, no matter what anybody says. Luck is not a dumb stat, dude. Luck is the best way to shoot somebody in the head and do double damage and put them out of their misery, especially if you have a fucking assault rifle. Doing 5d6 times 2 is insane. All right, 5d6 in parentheses, then times 2, right? Rodney Dangerfield voice, please kidnap my wife. Get her out of here. Luck did nothing for me last week. No, it did nothing. Absolutely not. There is a chance that you can put luck and be unlucky. It's just how it goes. What time is it? 9:40. Okay, I still have some time. Let's keep this ball rolling. Yeah. So that's it. I'm glad you guys asked me about corporates. There is this whole thing about corporations being the bad guy in Cyberpunk. And what that basically means is it's really difficult for game masters to figure out how they can have an exec in their party. But I think there's plenty of ways to do it, and they're all interesting. They're all really interesting, and they're challenging, and I think that people should give it a shot. Gonna put a Scientology corp in my game. Sick. That's awesome. All hail our great, powerful leader, Mr. Hubbard. How's the videos from Patreon? How's the video ideas from Patreon videos going? It's going great. I'm going down the list. I have my own ideas. I have things that I want to do. So I'm doing all the stuff that I'm doing. Got to back into the salt mines. Keep dropping that knowledge. Love you, DG. I'll see you on Thursday, buddy. Have a good one. L. Ron Hubbard was an interesting guy for sure. He definitely was. It's crazy how a science fiction novelist created a religion. But I think it all had to do with corporate greed more than anything. It is also crazy how we live in such a litigious world that the lawyers of Scientology can just basically take over your whole organization. Just bought Cyberpunk Red to run my first campaign ever. Tips. Oh, what's up, Mr. Skull Baby? Welcome to the Cyberpunk world. Tips. Don't sweat the small stuff. Change anything that you don't understand or you don't like. That's the cyberpunk way. That's what cyberpunk, the basis of cyberpunk is all about, is changing things that you don't understand. Take your time. It's okay. It's a new system for a lot of people. Make sure you read the combat section very closely. I have a bunch of videos on combat. I have a bunch of videos on all kinds of topics. And let me see what else. I would recommend you check out my combat video and my video on the three goon method. Those are two very, very important ones. And I have a Patreon series for building epic campaigns that just finished. So pay attention to that. I've released episode 1 and 2 already. 3 and 4 are next. They'll be coming within the next couple weeks. If there's anything, my other tip is to make sure you join our Discord community, Mr. Skull Baby. If you go into one of my old videos, checking out the description, join that Discord community, because there's people there that will help you, that are very knowledgeable. We're all there to help you and uplift people to make sure that they can have great games and give them resources. So if you want to talk about it, join that Discord. It's very important. That's like my number one piece of advice, because I can help you, but I'm only one person. There's so many people out there that are way more helpful than me, though. Excited for the new Monster Fight Club Combat Zone coming soon. Looks dope. Yeah, Luke, and isn't that crazy? I thought it was the same as the Friday Night Firefight, but apparently it's a different game. And they're making both of them. So I'm excited. I'll be buying it on Thursday. Tip: be cynical about the world we live in. Take that cynicism and follow it to the most grotesque and you can imagine. That's cyberpunk. Yeah, I agree, X'd out, but sometimes you want to make sure that you leave enough room for hope, you leave enough room for lightheartedness, because those are also interesting concepts too. And while they're not typically the entire part of cyberpunk, I mean, they add interest to the story. They add interesting elements. There has to be good guys for there to be bad guys. If there's only bad guys, there is no good guys. There has to, unless you're playing Warhammer 40K, which it just works out where everybody's a bad guy. But in Cyberpunk, I think the grim darkness should be balanced out with a little bit of lightheartedness and a little bit of ideas. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much it. What is this guy doing? Who is he? Oh, never mind. There's some random dude walking around the job. Discord's great. Found it a couple weeks ago. Lots of great stuff. Great to have you there, DM Chuggy. Thank you so much for joining us. 80% dystopia, 10% hope, 9% references, 1% what the fuck. That's actually a great combo. John's getting ready to kick another ass. Dude, everyone's going to catch these hands, all right? Everyone. All right? No one is safe. How would you personally use an animal companion like a dog, wolf, tiger, raptor in a campaign, kind of like searching for drugs or attacking enemies, or just leave that stuff out? No, you don't leave anything out. Number one piece of advice: you don't leave anything out. You do whatever you want to do. Never leave anything out. What's up, Taylor? How you doing from the con save? Great to see you. I would use for the animal companion, there's a skill called animal handling. I would use that. That would basically be the entire idea of it, of how you tell your... The easy part is, so this is the less intuitive, easy way to do it. It's like, okay, I want my tiger to attack that guy. Roll an animal handling check with whatever DV I decide it to be, and then it attacks the guy, okay? Or maybe you do an animal handling check, and then it opposes the evasion of the other guy, like an attack or something like that. Maybe it costs an action to do that, so you forego your turn to let your animal companion do that. Maybe your animal companion gives you +1 to conceal reveal, or +2 to conceal reveal if you're revealing something that has an odor and your animal can sniff it out. You just got to make a judgment call. Make a judgment call at the time. Give your players bonuses if you feel like the animal is helping out, but never leave anything out. No way. Always let your players do whatever they want. James said, one of James's piece of advice was learn to say no, and I honestly don't agree with that. I think that you should learn to say yes and adjust things. You should say yes, but instead of no. Say yes, you can do that, but these are the consequences. But these are the costs. But these are the things that you got to do before that can happen. Not no, 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 no. If you just keep saying no, then you're going to kind of ruin the experience for your players, in my opinion. As for corpos being always bad guys, I ran a sort of Romeo and Juliet story, and it was a love story between a nomad sort of heir and corpo exec, and the bad guy was the nomad leader. That's awesome. I love that. Be sure to check out the con save. They have awesome videos. Yep, I agree. Make sure you guys follow them. They do cyberpunk stuff all the time. I had a dog that was a Saint Bernard. I was a mad tech, so I put stims in their collar with how-to instructions so I could send him to hurting people if I couldn't get there. Oh, I thought you were giving stims to the dog. I was like, fuck yeah, dude. How about a cyber dog that takes drugs? That's fucking dope. A rabid cyber dog that takes drugs. In my Amber Oasis homebrew world, the Texas Rangers ride Cyber Assault Equine, which is cyber assault horses, because why the fuck not, right? Nomad leader was ready to kill off his son so he wouldn't make him look bad hooking up with the corpo and all. That's cool, man. I like that. That has a lot of depth to it. I would treat animal loyalty similar to corporal teamwork loyalty. Great idea, Don. That's actually a really good idea. You could borrow that from there. That's perfect. Well said. Would you let your PC control the animal, or should it be an NPC? I would let my PC roll for it, but whatever happens is up to the game master's discretion. So you would say the PC would say, I want my animal to go over there and do this thing. The game master would say, okay, roll the dice, and then I would tell you what happened. Maybe it got distracted by something, or maybe it doesn't understand your command and it's afraid, or other things that animals do that are not easy to control. Pro improv strat. Yes, but and. Yeah, but and. Yes, and but and. How are you today, Tay? Yeah, how are you today? That way there's a reason to really RP the interaction between the animal and owner. Yeah, 100%. 100%. I agree. Campaign session. Have you guys ever tried to walk your dog or like you tell your dog like, okay, we're going to the vet, and then they do the thing where they lay down and then you got to drag them and you're like, come on, come on. You can definitely do that with the loyalty of your animal handling. Campaign session idea. Biotechnica accidentally releases a kaiju. Too dumb or just dumb enough to work? It's a little bit on the too dumb side. Giant mecha, giant monsters is kind of like in the realm of the supernatural. I don't personally like it for my Cyberpunk Red campaign, but if you guys just want to have a laugh and just test it out and see what it's like, go ahead and do it. It would take me out of the immersion. Pitbull on meth with Wolvers. Hell yeah, dude. Meth Mutt says you don't need all your blood. Dude, Pitbull on Boost and Synth Coke with Wolvers and or chain teeth, where it's teeth like you turn it on and it's like chain like a chainsaw and it's teeth. Dude, fucking awesome. Doing good, playing a bunch of catch up and doing some Cyberpunk prep, so perfect timing for the live. Awesome. Now thinking about incorporating an animal to really throw off the team. Well, if you got any questions, let us know so we can talk about it. There's a PC in my Discord, Westmarch, that is a sentient dog with artificial shoulder mounts and cyber arms. He is called Dogbert and can only be understood when you are tripping on blue glass. Dude, Don, your games are sick. Coming soon, Rated X. Co-K9 and Methmut are lords of Dogtown. Hell yeah, dude. Methmut is a great name. Methmut is a great name for a tracker that is addicted to drugs. Save good luck on all your things. Good this, bro. Chainhound is born. Dude, Chainhound. You gotta borrow from Warhammer in that sense. The chainsword is the stupidest, most impractical weapon, but it's fucking awesome to have a chainsaw fucking sword. Dude, did I just get a 25? Oh my god, Nihilus. You sexy bastard, dude. Thank you so much for the $25. You're a monster, dude. You seriously are, man. I mean, I don't know if I got to take you out back and give you some lovin' or something around the corner, but holy shit, dude. I mean, I think you own me already now. Meet me at the alley, dude. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. I appreciate the support from you and everybody from the Patreon, and you guys in chat. I really appreciate the support. Love you, buddy. You owe him a complimentary reach around. I mean, minimum. I mean, that's just like so we can, move forward from here on. All right, my dudes. Uh don't blow it all on the Sonic the Hedgehog shirts. I got this from Target actually, and it has some like weeboo Japanese letters that probably says "I'm an idiot" or something. You misspelled mandatory. Let him work your beard. Yeah, let him get his fingers through my beard. All right, my dudes. We're getting there. I know it's only been 1 hour 10 minutes, and I'm sorry that we started late, but I have so many things I need to do today. You know what? Fuck it. Let's just do a little bit more. Let's do a little bit longer. Let's see how much longer we can go. Sunky the Horge Hog. If we meet at a con or something, buy me a beer. I mean, that's a minimum, dude. Minimum is buying a beer. That's like part A of like a 20-part series of things that I have to do for you. I plan on running a Halloween session this year where I have my PCs hunting a predator in Night City. It doesn't affect their campaign, but it's a cool holiday special type of thing. I love it. I like that. I definitely want to. I've been wanting to run the Night's Edge book. It's a Cyberpunk 2020 supplement for which added like supernatural things like vampires and werewolves and mummies and weird shit. I thought it'd be cool to run that in Cyberpunk Red, or have kind of like a horror one shot kind of thing. I've been thinking about that, so maybe. I'm legit inspired. Over and above already was with the adventures of Methmut and Chainhound, dude. I'm inspired too. That sounds awesome. A predator in Cyberpunk sounds crazy. I know, he'll get to the world and be like, damn, this place sucks. Why am I here again? What am I hunting? But there is a lot of warriors that the predator can hunt. That's a kick-ass band name, Methmut and Chainhounds. Yeah, I do. That is a good band. They're definitely a black metal band. Or grunge. Jackie could be a vampire. Yeah, Jackie could be a vampire. Why not? But yeah, in that supplement, Night's Edge, they introduce a new stat called Psi, which is like some psychic stuff. From what I've heard, it's actually not a very good supplement. It's just cool for the novelty of it, but that's pretty much it. If it bleeds, we can kill it. Biotechnica is the reason for Predator. Yeah, maybe they saw the movie and then they're like, can we replicate this? And then they made it. There is talk of aliens in Cyberpunk. There was like some kind of blurb in one of the books where supposedly one of the corporations or the government found aliens. I forgot exactly where it was. Yeah, Sasquatch does exist in Cyberpunk Red. They come to hunt the biomorphs, and eventually Biotechnica goes off world and makes a xenomorph. Yeah, maybe the High Riders have it like put somewhere. Reminds me of the ending of Neuromancer. Yeah, maybe the High Riders have conserved specimen of like a predator in their orbital station. Something like that. Gotta get that hand sanitizer. They came up with a new form of the vampire gang that has upgraded biters with siphon pumps that sucks the blood from victims and sprays it out in exit ports behind the ears in a rain of visceral glory. Yeah, you could also have like a BioWare filter that they suck in the what's it called? They suck in the blood, they filter it, and then they take it as sustenance. So that they actually made, that's actually a really cool idea. So the idea is they got some kind of cyborg and BioWare where they're like, let's be actual vampires that suck blood for sustenance. And we don't have like a thirst for it other than we're kind of addicted to the lifestyle. And it's our way of surviving in the dark future instead of eating pre-pack and kibble. I think there's a blurb that humanity went to Mars, but there's no contact with the expedition. Nobody knows what happened in CPU Red Book, or am I mistaken? I think you're right. I think there was also something in the Cyberpunk 2020 book somewhere, or the Home of the Brave, where they talk about UFOs or Area 51, and they kind of like allude to it a little bit. I think it was mostly just a joke, but it's there somewhere. I mean, you could run with it. What if we did Hawaiian cyberpunk? Dude, surfing and just the image of somebody being completely chromed out head to toe and on a surfboard made of chrome, like the Silver Surfer on Hawaii, and it says, like, welcome to Oahu. I love that idea. Youth plasma has de-aging effects. Make high riders hunt low life on the surface. Love it. Why eat pre-pack when you have so much free roam meat? Sorry, I thought I was going to kick someone's ass. No, I'm just kidding. Cyberpunk 5.0. I'm all about the cryptid action in Cyberpunk. Ha. You can smurf in Night City. 100% confirmed by Jay Gray. Yeah, I'm sure. Oh, surf in Night City. Oh, really? Oh, I'm sure that they have like some. I've been to those indoor surfing places. Not indoor. It's outdoor, but it's like those. It's like this big ass surf machine where you can like surf on it. It's actually in. I'm sure you've been there, Nihilus. It's in San Diego. Fuck, what's the place called, man? It's a nightclub, or it's not a club. It's like an outdoor club that has a wave thing in it. I've been there before. I forgot what it's called. Surfs up, super surf, surfs away. I don't remember what it's called. Hawaii is mostly underwater in my game. LOL. Global warming went worse than planned. Oh yeah, there is also that. There is also that. Night City is Morro Bay in Cali. Yep. Random advice request. So I am approaching big bad fight with lots of side characters. Any tips for an epic final battle that won't kill my players before they get to the big bad? I kind of want them to fight through a building with different waves or trials, but don't want to weaken them too much before the final event. You got to be careful with that, Taylor, because if you're just having them, even though that feels like a big fight, what it ends up happening is you're just having them do nonstop combat encounters, and it kind of gets boring. It's like, oh, we're fighting this guy, we defeat him. Okay, now we're fighting this guy, we defeat them. Now we're fighting this guy, and okay, this is kind of boring. Instead, you should have a series of like traps, hazards, and at the end there's a big combat encounter. So the hazards and stuff can still damage them, can still fuck them up before they get to the combat encounter, and it's obstacles in the way. So that's one thing, traps and hazards. Another thing is you want to make sure that it feels like more than just a combat encounter. So there's got to be a countdown timer for a bomb that's going to go off, the building explodes, trauma team storms in, and the police are outside in helicopters and AVs saying, "This is the police, come out with your hands up." And it's like, oh my God, there's so much fucking chaos and destruction going on. A dragon comes out of nowhere. Like, you know what I mean? I'm joking about the dragon, but like, but that's a good idea. That's like the perfect kind of a scenario where in Skyrim, where like the dragon came and you're like, oh my God, what do I do? Buildings are collapsing. You fight some guards, you get out of the way, and then finally you're like, oh, I'm out of here. So that's the kind of excitement you want for the big ending, is explosions, destruction, a bunch of bad guys. You don't want them doing a bunch of combat encounters, because that can get boring, in my opinion. Yeah, it would have to be that. I'd imagine the ocean in Cyberpunk would absolutely trash. Yeah, for sure. Speaking of cryptids, I should definitely add chromed up spring heeled Jack to my London setting. Sounds great. Jay Gray said that you just have to watch for remnant mines. Ah, Wave House. I think it's Wave House. It was Wave House. Yep. Wave House was the spot. Good call, Nihilus. I've been there a couple times. In general, Cali's pretty good for surf. Yeah, I'm trying to think of interesting puzzles or obstacles too. Check out the section in the core rulebook where they have the tip floor, electrified walls. It's in the net running section, like it's in like the hazards and stuff like that. Use that for inspiration. That's really fun. And then there could be like puzzles for like trying to get through a door and a keypad and stuff like that. Um, it's hard to think of off the top of my head and not knowing what's going on in your campaign, but I'd recommend stuff like that. Combat fatigue is a threat to the momentum of the game. Yeah, and it's also just something that, while it is realistic, like if you want to get to the top floor of a building, you got to go through a bunch of security. Like in Cyberpunk 2077, it works perfect because you're like killing. It's a game, you're killing things and you get to where you need to go and you're killing things. But even then, you're like, oh, I'm exhausted from murdering all these faceless dumbasses. You know what I mean? And the same kind of fatigue will hit your players if you just focus on that. NetDragon. Yeah, NetDragon. I think that integrating a cop in a crime party would make it super interesting if done right. If the PC doesn't act like a super good lawful paladin, then it could add layers like corrupt cops. Or yeah, not just corrupt cops, but cops that are unforgiving. Like look at cops in Russia. There's a whole division of cops in Russia that are in charge of caviar. There's like a crazy caviar business going on in Russia, like stealing caviar, hijacking trucks. And I'm talking about like serious operations. So the cops that are in charge of that, I've seen some videos. When they arrest people, there's no such thing as police brutality. There is, okay, we got you. You're a criminal, and we're taking you to jail. Whatever happens in between that time, you know, no one's gonna cry for you. Okay, you're a criminal, and that's the same kind of hard mentality that a cop in the dark future could have, where they're like, by any means necessary, enforcing the law, and that could be a fun way to do it. I can hear your wife now. Get to work. I know. I gotta get back, so I'll end it real soon. I've had my PCs in the favelas of Brazil. Jesus, I mean, how bad the favelas of Brazil are already a terrible fucking place. I can't imagine what they're like in the dark future. Could be cool to have a Borg giant squid and or sperm whale as a net ops. Yeah, like if Biotechnica acquired SeaWorld at the same time the Navy was being privatized. That's cool. In Russia, brutality is police. Yeah, I've seen some fucked up videos. All right, guys, that's it. Let's end it there. Thank you so much to everybody. Thank you, Nihilist, for the $50. I seriously appreciate you. You're now my husband, so there's that. Thank you guys so much for the support and love and everything that you guys do for the channel and continuing to uplift me and uplift each other. Stay tuned for more cool content. We're gonna have all kinds of fun. I love you guys. Have a wonderful day, Chumbas. And we'll see you on the next one. See you next week, probably Tuesday again, okay? Bye-bye. Take care. Love you. Bye.